Hey, it's great seeing you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing fantastic. We are doing great at home. The twins are growing fast. They're driving mama crazy, but they're learning a lot, and we're enjoying it. The island's still on the lockdown, so although things are easing up little by little, just as the States, we're coping day by day, week by week, but we're doing great. Today, I'm gonna be talking about building shipping container homes in Puerto Rico, including the design, the materials, and the permits surrounding the construction of the shipping container home. I want to thank Ross Seeger. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. He posted questions in regards to the laws, the permits, licenses, etc. for building shipping container homes on the island. So this video is for you, and hopefully it will help others. Alright, so let's get right into it after the intro. I have shared with you 9 tips for building a shipping container home off the grid before in another video. If you haven't watched that, I highly recommend that you watch it because it'll give you some perspective in regards to the entire endeavor of shipping container homes. Now, let's talk about 3 things: design, materials, and permits. I highly recommend that you search the internet for photos of other designs, other things that people have done with their shipping container home. That will give you the base that you will need, and it will help you get the right decisions for your final design that you're targeting. Your design will determine the shape, the size, the materials, the cost of your new shipping container home. I highly recommend that you draw it to scale, and if you can really do it yourself, hire either a structural engineer or architect to do it for you. Now let's talk about materials. Once you have the design down of your future shipping container home, you can begin creating the list of materials that you will need to build such a home. The first thing on your list of materials should be the container itself, or containers if there are more than one. Also decide whether it's going to be steel, aluminum, insulated, or any other type of material that the container itself is going to be built upon. Second, you can begin looking for the doors and the windows that are external facing and begin thinking how big they are. Take in consideration that you're going to be cutting those doors and windows, or at least the holes for it. Then are you going to buy them prefab, or are you going to be ordering custom made? So those things are in play. Another item for your material list is the solar system and water collection if you're going off the grid. So we're gonna talk about that in another video in the future. I'm gonna be providing specific information about the solar options, wind, and water collection. Just begin the list. It can get overwhelming at first, but once you start putting things on paper, it will be easier for you. And seek help. Don't do it by yourself. Other folks, your friends, family, either the engineer or architect that you're going to be hiring might be able to help with that. Once you have your preliminary list, you can take the list to Home Depot or any other hardware store, and they will put price in most items. Home Depot, they're actually very good. They provided to me a detailed list of all the things that they thought I was going to need. I began establishing the relationship with the person, and up to this day, they know exactly, at least there are a couple people that work at the commercial counter, they know exactly how my house look like and the things that I'm gonna need, and they've been great source of advice. So I advise you, talk to your local salesman, and they'll be more than helpful. Here in the island, expect to pay between $1,500 and $5,000 for a 40-foot shipping container. That will be depending on the condition. Prices keep going up as they're becoming more popular. They're hurricane proof and they're earthquake proof, so a lot of people are seeking for a new alternative to concrete and wood on the island. Now let's talk about permits, and this is for you Ross, and hopefully it will help others as well. There are two ways of building shipping container homes in Puerto Rico, either grid tied or off the grid. Now let's talk about grid tied. First, you will need to get a design created, reviewed and approved by an engineer. Second, you will get a construction permit. Then you will get a insurance permit that will have to renew every 6 months. The cost of the insurance depends on the type of design you have, whether it's 1 story, 2 story, how many people you intend to be hiring to build your house, and so on. After that, there are going to be multiple inspections along the way and until the final day of construction, where the engineer will actually review what has been built. Then you will need a permit to use. The permit to use is basically a document that says you're allowed to live in the property and you're allowed to request water and electricity from the different agencies providing those. The water and electricity are owned by companies which are owned by the government. So as you can imagine, they're very bureaucratic. It takes a lot of time to actually request and get things reviewed and to get the electricity and water turned on. Now, this method, the grid tie, will be recommended for those that want water and or electricity from the city or the municipality. So they will be required to do so. So this process can take, months and up to a couple of years, to actually build your house. This is why a lot of folks are going the off-the-grid route, which basically you build your house and that's it. Because you're providing your electricity, you're providing your water, you're providing your own septic tank. Now, let me be very clear. I am not a licensed lawyer or attorney or an engineer. So I'm just gonna give you the information I have from my friends that are engineers and attorneys, and take it as for what it is, just basically word of mouth from another person, and from experience, between myself and other folks that have built their home nearby. So to be clear, as long as you don't break any building codes, you will be okay building your shipping container home in Puerto Rico. This is assuming that you have purchased land and your land have plenty of space and you don't have too many neighbors nearby or any other factors that might affect your building construction. If you're doing the construction by yourself, I suggest you read the Puerto Rico building code. So I'm going to include the link at the bottom of the video in the comment section. And for me, it was very helpful. I was able to at least learn what were the code for the water sewage disposal, which is very important. Just because I have a river nearby, I want to make sure that I was doing things by the book. Get familiar, talk to people on the island. They usually know a friend, they have a friend, they have a friend that works on different agencies. This island is only 4.5 million people or less, so you're always gonna know somebody that works on the agency that'll be able to provide some extra official information that will help you building your shipping container home. As of the time this video was recorded, there's no applicable law just to shipping container homes. There are laws applicable to building homes in general. That goes through the Puerto Rico Building Code, and it has a person assigned called the building official, which that person translates or interprets the code to provide inspections and to make decisions on a yearly basis. And if not, you can always ask me. I will try to do my best to find information, ask the people that I know, so at least I'm providing you some information that is not too off. Obviously, I'm not an official, I don't work for the government, but I'm just giving you my most sincere recommendations. If you like this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, do the bell, do the, all that good stuff. So feel free to reach out, and that way I can make more videos and share the little bit I know by building my home, building my restaurant, and living off the grid at least 8 years. So until next time, see ya.